Speaking of which, you've written a little bit about NFTs. I'd be interested to hear your opinions on this space of ideas, these non-fungible tokens. They seem to have a cultural impact currently, but do they have a long-lasting technical, financial, or cultural impact, or is this just a fad? What do you think of NFTs?
Yeah, I think the current enthusiasm for NFTs and the financial metrics you see, the growth there in that sector, is partially a function of where we are in the actual credit cycle. So oftentimes when inflationary events occur, you have correspondent speculative manias that occur at the same time because people intuitively feel that the fiat currency that they hold is being debased. And so they frantically look around for other places to put it. So stocks, property, commodities, and then other asset classes. NFTs are an asset class. And this is the case with any inflation you look at in history. You saw these correspondent speculative manias, basically, speculative episodes. So a lot of us feel that inflation is occurring, whether it's in CPI or not, that basically lots of dollars are being injected into the economy. We have all seen stocks massively appreciate even as GDP contracted. And so a lot of people sort of got cottoned on to this notion that, wow, as the Fed, lowers interest rates and Congress spends a huge amount of stimulus dollars into the economy, financial assets going to go up, so I better have exposure to all that stuff. And so you see virtually every asset class is awash with cash right now. People are investing like their lives depend on it, investing, trading, whatever, whether it's options, volumes on Robinhood, like kind of retail brokerages, things like that, whether it's stocks, whether it's crypto, and then other collectibles, baseball cards, their valuations have been skyrocketing. And so I think NFTs are part of that. It's a new asset class. It's basically an opportunity to invest in sort of art or collectibles, in-game items, things like that. I think that explains a large degree of the enthusiasm, the excitement, is that it's a novel asset class that people can trade. And right as, these inflationary tailwinds pick up. Now, as for the sort of virtues of the actual technical phenomenon, NFTs are actually not a new idea at all. So you've had NFTs, I didn't call them NFTs, but in 2016, built on Bitcoin, for instance. So it's been around for a while. What it is a serial code, basically a string of data that is inserted onto a public blockchain and then circulates as a unique token. And then the question is, okay, well, what does that data refer to? What's the external reference? And that has to be defined. There has to be some entity which says, oh yeah, this unique string refers to like this piece of art or digital content or, trading card or whatever. So NFT, the concept itself is like an incredibly broad idea. It's just, well, what if we took, barcodes and put them on chain so that they could be traded and so they could circulate freely on a peer-to-peer basis and plugged into exchanges and things like that. So that concept is super valid, clearly has protocol market fit, right? People are using it for a really wide array of purposes. It's completely going to exist. May the valuations contract of NFTs in the aggregate? Definitely possible, probably likely. But I think the notion of creating enduring collectibles or artworks that have accompanying signatures, basically autographed art on the blockchain, that has totally been validated. I think that won't go away.
I wonder if there's ideas like BitCloud, for example. I don't know if you saw that. If there's ideas built on top of this concept, it doesn't have to be like Ethereum NFT. It could be just the concept of non-fungible tokens, whether those kinds of things can take hold. And it's less about financial transactions and more about almost like, I don't know how to put it, but like staking identity in some way, whether it's BitCloud or identity of objects. Like there might be some way of connecting physical reality and digital reality in some interesting ways. So just the financial aspect is a way to like put some validity behind the identity. I wonder if there's like ideas there that are yet to be discovered, or ideas that are yet to be take hold. Like BitClout seems interesting.
Yeah.
Seems shady as hell. Seems a little scammy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like the idea that you can bet on people, essentially.
Right. Yeah, I think my market cap on BitClout is like $90,000, and I haven't done anything there. So it's like
did you verify yourself or whatever?
I have not. I think people would yell at me on Twitter if I did. So, right.
And it's unclear whether it's a scam yet or not, right? It's unclear where it's coming from.
Well, there's some details about the investors. It's backed by some pretty big name investors. So I probably wouldn't use the word scam to describe it, but it's got Ponzi-like dynamics, like everything in crypto.
Yeah.
So there's very questionable, and then also is it using people's likeness without their permission, which is, I think, a legal question. So there's open questions around it. But are public blockchains and that sort of architecture, is that going to be useful for decentralized or alternative forms of social media?
Yeah,
100% yes. I'm super, super bullish on that idea. Basically, creating open protocols, open namespaces, ways to organize without the dependence on a single node, effectively in Silicon Valley, the Twitter node or the Facebook node. I think it's a matter of urgency that we create, digital gathering spaces where you have strong property rights. You have a claim on your identity, you have a claim on your data. And open architectures are a way to do that. I don't know if it'll be a blockchain, but I think the general, concept introduced by blockchains is a good template for how to, organize these systems.
Yeah. Value freedom, value decentralization of power, whatever the mechanism.